It's all happening for holiday here at Not Fit for Print Beauty. We've got the new MAC holiday collection to look at, and we're going to demonstrate them with some new Rephr brushes, which is always really exciting. We're going to talk about all of that today with me, Rebecca. I'm a fashion and beauty editor, and I have done this, reviewed makeup, talked to makeup artists, followed them around, documented all this stuff, including fashion and beauty, for about a quarter of a century. And that gave me the wherewithal to start Not Fit for Print Beauty because, well, we're not in print, so Not Fit for Print Beauty. We're digital now. Right here on YouTube, it gives you, like I said, a little digital beauty magazine to look through every day or so here on YouTube. So we're going to talk about what we got here. We're going to try it on. I'm going to show it to you in the warm California sunshine. As I said, we have the new MAC Holiday 2025 collection, which I'm very excited about. And then these new, let's talk first about these new Rephr brushes. So today is Sunday, depending upon when you're seeing this video. Tomorrow, Monday, is when they go on sale, and I'll put a little reminder up in my community, but that's when they go on sale, and it's very exciting. You know, Rephr is on to the second stage. They were conceived first as like crowdsourcing information on brushes, and they did that so well, and they've moved on to the next step. And one of the things they're going to do is change a lot of their, not change a lot of their brushes, but reproduce a lot of their brushes in the Shodo form. Okay, so what's Shodo? Let me show you what we got here. Now, I have to make a little bit of a confession to you. Kevin the camera is back. You might have heard yesterday in my Lisa Eldridge video, and I have filmed this. This is my second time filming this video. I didn't realize how many, there's timestamps below if you're in a hurry. I get it, trust me. But I didn't realize how many settings they had actually changed at the Canon factory, and so I filmed it with the wrong settings, and I almost let it go. It just looks terrible. So I'm redoing it. That means my brushes are a little dirty. They were washed already, but they've been used. So just pretend they're clean. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, so they're going to make most of their brushes also over into Shodo brushes. So here's what we have, the Shodo 5, which is the first ever Shodo face brush. And then we also have the Shodo 6. So let me tell you what's Shodo and what's the point of it. Okay, let's see if I can zoom in here. Do you see all those little tiny little hairs just right here? Like just gentle little, they're just kind of fluffy and they're not really dense. And then if you see those end into a more dense kind of typical number 5 brush, the idea being, and we've seen other brush brands do this, but the Shodo brushes in particular, and Rephr has released a few of them, but this is the first for the cheek, is you can put a little bit of powder, cream. We're going to put like a putty blush on today with it. You can put it here, and if you press lightly, it's going to distribute it lightly, but if you press just a little bit more, and if you press the whatever makeup you're using into the brush a little bit more, you can press down, get through this little layer of little furry hairs that are sticking up there, and have a more dense, stronger, I should say, application. That's the whole Shodo concept. So this is the Shodo number 5, and there is, oh, it's going to be hard to see because somebody got it dirty. Who would that have been? The Shodo number 6. So this has those little tiny little hairs too. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. This is great for the lash line and the liner. And wait till you see how close I can get to the lash line with it. I don't put a lot of makeup onto my eyelid because I don't have very big eyelids and I have hooded eyes, but I can just like get it right. This is a beautiful brush for those of you who like to do detail work. I'm sorry it's dirty. It wasn't the first time I filmed. And then we have the Rephr, let's see, actually the Shodo bundle. Let me just tell you, the Shodo bundle is going to be $45, and I will link all of this below so you can get it, because it supports my channel when you use my link, so I really appreciate it. And then we have the Yosegi limited edition holiday brush. Let's talk about this guy. This is going to be $89 for the first week that it's available, and then it bumps up to $99. It looks like it's a square handle. It's not. This is a round handle that uses 4 pieces of solid walnut and maple. So it kind of looks square, but it is rounded. And there are 4 pieces of those 2 different types of wood. And then we have a 24 karat gold plated ferrule. It's not solid gold. That would be crazy. It's a gold plated ferrule. This can be used for blush, bronzer, any sort of powder. And it is gorgeous. And like I said, that is going to be $89 just for a week. And then it will bump up to $99. Still very much a relief because these beautiful artisanal Japanese-made brushes can carry quite a high price point. And I think a lot of people were worried, oh no, Rephr has moved on to their second stage. We're going to start seeing $250 for, no. And this is gorgeous. It comes in this beautiful wooden box with all the, and the wood smells so delicious. It's just like a beautiful scent. And you can carry, I'm going to just store mine in that. It's just lovely. So we're going to use these 3 brushes and we're going to supplement these 3 new brushes with some Rephr favorites. But do, if you are a fan of Shodo, do watch for them doing more of their favorite brushes in the Shodo kind of format. All right, let's talk about what I have here from MAC and check it out in the warm California sunshine. I have got for the 2025 holiday, the MACnificent eyeshadow palette. That's $35. Has 6 new winter neutrals. MAC and their puns. MACnificent. So these are very neutral, but they're cool leaning neutrals, and that is a nice change. And I can actually wear them. If I just wear cool shades, I tend to look a bit dead, but I encourage you, if you can go for neutrals, this will please you. The interesting thing here is we have many, like I said, we have 6 new winter neutrals. The most interesting shade being this middle one. This is a bit of a slimy guy. It's kind of like a oily shade. I can't think of an adjective that would be kind to it. But it's really interesting because it doesn't crease. I'll show you we'll use it in the demo. But as long as you kind of rub it in, it avoids the creasing that a lot of these kind of oilier shades, like it retains its shimmer and shine and that kind of multi or duochrome, but it doesn't crease as long as you kind of blend it in. I'll show you in the demo. We'll look at it outside first in the warm California sunshine, but let me first show you the Bounce and Gleam highlighter. You know the Bounce and Gleam blush, that putty blush that MAC has? This now is a highlighter. It's $36. I bought it in Candied Copper, but it comes in 3 shades. It's a putty highlighter. See, I can press in, you see? Just like I can with the blush. This is the deepest, darkest shade, and we're going to use it a little bit as a highlighting blush. Depends on your skin tone. There's also a mint green that I was dying to get, but I was like, I can't wear mint. Who am I kidding? If you got the mint green, though, tell me if you like it. How interesting is mint green? But I'm going to wear this kind of as a blush. Depending on your skin tone, you might choose to wear it as a highlight. I also brought out a powder highlighter just so I could show you the Rephr holiday brush because this guy's best with powder. He's not really a putty guy, so I brought that out. And then for the lips, we have 2 really interesting things. We've got the Sugar Crystal Lip Oil Stick that's $28. Just look at all the kind of like engraving on the bullet. This is the coolest bullet I have seen, lipstick bullet. Right after or right equal to those Tom Ford ones that were clear with like gold flecks floating in them. Those get me every time. Here it is here. It's kind of, it'd be nicer with a liner. It's really just kind of transparent, but it has like pink and blue overtones. I'll show it to you outside in the warm California sunshine. And then last but not least, this isn't part of the holiday collection, but it's kind of new, so I wanted to show it to you. These are the Dazzlelips crayon lipsticks. I got the shade Chandelier. They're metallic lip pencils. There's 12 shades. They're $28. You can wear these alone, or since they're a little bit transparent and they kind of feel like a lipstick, you could also wear them over a lipstick, like maybe over something matte to change kind of the texture. And I got the Chandelier shade because I don't really like metallic red. That's why I usually buy reds lately. You know, I'm in my red era. And I didn't. This one also is a little different than, I love the big mega chunky lip crayons from NARS and especially Pat McGrath. But those are more matte and you sharpen them. This one does roll up and down. So it's a little, and it's just a little more transparent and a little more of a lipstick feel. It's a little different. But I had to try it in the shade Chandelier. Well, let me show you all the shades actually. Let's step outside into the warm California sunshine. Take a look at these on my arm. We have the MACnificent, eyeshadow palette in those 6 new winter neutrals, followed by the Bounce and Gleam highlighter. I chose the shade Candied Copper, It's going to be dark for me. There's this Sugar Crystal lip oil stick. I think you can see it out there on my arm in the sunshine. And then the Dazzlelips crayon lipstick, I picked up the shade Chandelier. All right, let's play with this. And we are going to include our brand new brushes from, we're going to include our Rephr brushes, which are going to be on sale soon. First thing I want to show you is this beautiful kind of candied copper. We're going to use this as a glowy blush, but it's up to you. You can use your fingers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put it on like this, and then I'm going to take this Shodo number 5 and just kind of spread it out a little bit. Look at how it does that so well. I can also dip it right in there and then apply it. If I use this top and gently, then it will just kind of gently put it on. But look at how it disperses it. That's an amazingly powerful brush. And no, I'm not pressing hard. I'm literally just kind of spreading it on. And it's a putty, so compliments to MAC for making a shade that works well, but also compliments to Rephr for making a brush that can handle a putty. That's amazing. Look at that. Now what I'm doing is using the flat side of it, but I could also dip barely in and kind of use just a little bit. This is the first Shodo face brush, as I told you guys, and it's beautiful. And this shade works on my skin tone beautifully as a kind of highlighty blush. I'm going to show you though, this is just an older, I think it might be Holiday, MAC highlighter. And I want to show you that with the Holiday brush because this is a delicate brush. This is a sloped brush, so you can use it a bunch of different ways. I love it for highlighter, but you can also pinpoint and target with powder, any powders. But this one I think does prefer powder a little bit. So this is a MAC powder highlighter, and I'll just dip in and just kind of kiss the cheek with it and go over that. Look how pretty that is. It's also kind of a duochrome, and I am layering it with that deeper highlighty blush because again, it depends on skin tone. This will put on the most delicate powder beautifully. Look at that. It just doesn't necessarily, it could put on the putty blush too, but you know, brushes are tools and they're specific. So I didn't want to overtax him. Such a pretty, yeah, I kiss my brushes, whatever. Whatever, you got something to say? Okay, let's go ahead and look at our MACnificent, not magnificent, got to stick with the pun. And like I told you guys, I really like these because they are kind of neutral, cool, and they work on me. So first thing I'm going to do, this is just an older Rephr 1 Max. I'm just going to go into this shade right here and just put this all over the lid. It's kind of a pinkish white, and you think it would start getting too cool tone for me, and maybe it is, but I'm going to fix it. Watch. I'm going to take that same brush, and I'm going to go into this shade right here, down here, and then I'm just going to go into the crease of the eye. That helps me a little bit because, like I said, I have hooded eyes. And don't worry, I'm going to work in that Shodo number 6 in just a moment from Rephr. Haven't forgotten. Okay, so already I have a look that kind of works for me already. I've toned down the coolness and kind of neutraled it up a little bit. But you cool tone lovers are going to really enjoy this. And then don't worry, I haven't forgotten about that kind of oily, greasy shade. I shouldn't say that, but that's kind of what it is. And same brush, I'm just going to go into the corner here, just deepen it a little bit, just to emphasize the eye. This is, I've already filmed this, but it just wasn't optimal viewing pleasure. This is one of the prettiest eye looks I've done in a while, and I never thought I would say that when I originally did it, I should say. I never thought I'd say that about a slightly cool leaning palette, but wait till you see. This just gets really, really pretty. I'm going to now take that Shodo number 6, which is this amazing detail brush, and I'm going to go into that deepest, darkest shade, leaving us only 2 left. And I'm just going to go underneath and watch this, okay? So I'm going to take the tip of that and just go onto, I'm just going to deposit. Look, it's not even going onto my lid because the tip of this is so fine. I'm not taking up any lid space, and I have essentially applied a liner, which is something I don't generally get the chance to do because I just have very limited lid space. But this thing, I mean, it's so narrow. And I know you're going to say, oh no, there's a lot of brushes like that, but they're not this soft. I mean, you would not know that I have liner on my lid. But it did deepen the lash line, and it's really very, very pretty. So I'm very pleased with that. So those are demos of our new Rephr brushes, which I will link below. And meanwhile, I'll link all the MAC products we're working below and up here in YouTube shopping. I can't put Rephr in YouTube shopping yet, but I bet it's coming. I bet it's coming. All right, now we have 2 shades left, and I just kind of want to show you what we could do with them. So let me take this lilac-y pink shade and first just kind of put that all over the lid. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with it in a moment. It's really subtle and pretty. And it's going to be really kind of winter wonderland. I'm laughing because that's a silly thing to call it, but it really is. Kind of winter wonderland. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier, okay? So I'm going to go into this shade right here. And this is kind of a, I want to say slimy. God, what is a nice word for slimy? You think I know, I'm a writer. Okay, this right here, and I'm going to put it here. And you think that's going to crease like crazy, but I'm going to do 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to avoid the crease of my eye, which would encourage it to crease. Number 2, I'm going to kind of keep patting until I've kind of blended it in. I'm not pulling the skin on my eye, don't worry. Until I've kind of blended it in, and then it leaves kind of this beautiful effect. But it's really no longer very sticky. See, this is it without, this is with. And what that does is it kind of gives it that really pretty, almost ethereal look. I didn't go into the crease, so I didn't go up too high. I'm just using my finger, and I'm kind of tapping it in. You can almost drag it even. It's not going to go anywhere. And now it won't crease. How do you know it won't crease? I filmed this yesterday, remember? I'm bored all day, so it doesn't crease. See, it wasn't a mistake yesterday. It was research. So it doesn't... If you tap it all in, it's not going to crease on you the way, you know, I have worn so many eye glosses and they feel heavy on the eye and they crease and they look awful and kind of blend with whatever shadow you use and make lines of it. This doesn't do that because it's kind of, I've tapped it all the way in. And so it just kind of leaves a beautiful kind of ethereal shine over the makeup, which is quite lovely if you ask me. Now, I do have this on my lips, the Sugar Crystal Lip, but let me just show you Dazzlelips. If I put it over, and this is in that shade that I showed you earlier, Chandelier, I'm just going to line with it. I bought this because I thought, oh my God, it's another version of NARS or Pat McGrath Mega, but no. This one really feels kind of like a lipstick. It's really nice feeling. It's almost like a lipstick pencil. I guess the... You could say that about the NARS and the Pat McGrath. But watch. It's a very easy shade to wear as it is, but it can also change the look maybe if you had a matte lipstick underneath it. And I just put it over the gloss. But you could put it on to dry lips too, because it's nice and moisturizing. It really feels like a lipstick. I suppose the NARS and the Pat McGrath do as well, but they feel like a very matte lipstick. This one kind of blends in, and as you can see, if you put this over like a matte lip, it would really kind of change the appearance of the lipstick and give it a little, almost like a topper shade. Look, MAC is on fire. Many MAC fans would tell me that MAC has never been extinguished. And I would agree. But I think of late, for some reason, there's like a creative spark really going on at MAC. I think these items are beautiful. And there's more to it over at MAC. I just picked a little bit of a selection for you, but look at that. I don't even wear cool tone shades. These are slightly cool tone leaning, and I'm still so pleased with the look, and it feels so party ready and so, like I said, snow princess holiday. I quite love it, and I think you will too. Meanwhile, don't forget, don't sleep on these new, now heavily used they were clean. I washed them when they first came. Rephr brushes. They are absolutely beautiful, and I will have them linked below. These are available starting Monday, depending on when you watched this video. If you're watching it when it first comes out, check that link out below. Get yourself some Rephr brushes, as they are absolutely gorgeous, and so is this MAC collection. What did you pick up? I'm a little late on this due to my Ulta complications, which I can explain to you guys later, but tell me what you picked up from this MAC collection, and if you're planning to or depending on when you watch this, if you have already purchased some new Rephr brushes for yourself. Let me know everything. Come join me over on Instagram and TikTok. We're on Facebook, and we have a membership group right here on YouTube. We have lives every Friday. I would love to see you there, but I do plan to meet you all in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Welcome back, Kevin the camera.